Okay, it's recording. So once you set up the environment, then you need to work with the JavaFX environment. Otherwise, your code will not run. And we did learn that you not only download the zip file and unzip it, but you also bring it in your Eclipse. And you also need to set up your variables when you are running it, when you run your Eclipse application, a Java application in Eclipse. Okay, so we also looked at the whole layers of Java, and then we looked at the PowerPoint. And that's what I want to briefly go over again, just as a refresher before we dig into our today's examples. So JavaFX is a brand new architecture. In this architecture, we do not use anything from Swing or AWT. In this application, we create Java applications as children of application class. And within an application, you have something called a stage. Within stage, you have scene or scenes, and each scene has scene graphs. So when you create your class is a child of application package, and you need to import the JavaFX application package. Then after you are done with that, you will need to work with the start method. The start method is where your items will be that you want to show on the screen. So your start method receives an object of stage type, and the stage type object will let you show the window, and you can set the title of the stage through the title bar. Once your stage is set up, you need to launch the start method through the launch method, which is located in the application class. Since this class is a child of application class, you can directly call launch without the mentioning application.launch. It will call the launch method from the application class, and which will call the start class for you. So this is a blank frame that we created. Then we created a label, and then we added the label to a scene, and then we add the scene to the stage, and then we showed the stage. So that was another example that we did last week, and then we did many more examples. I will not going to go over all the examples. I just wanted to review this so that you guys have a little bit of a refresher about the whole setup and the environment. Okay. So any questions before we move forward?
The 400 and the 200 for label, does that dictates where it is in the stage or the size of it?
That's the size of the scene.
Size of the scene, okay.
Yep. We learned several different ways of adding objects to the scene. That was one of the ways. Then we started using a scene graph called group. Then we use another scene graph called HBox. So we used multiple scene graphs. Then we also learn how you can set up the properties through CSS for the button, external as well as internal. So, yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Jack Lear, do you have things set up? Yes or no? Because you were not here last week, that's I'm making sure. Otherwise, you won't be able to follow through. Okay. Okay. So one of the examples that we did last time, we created a button. And oops, I did not click anything. Okay. We created a button by the name of exit 3. We set its tooltip to say exit button. And then when you hover over, it just shows you the message exit button. Then we created an external CSS document here inside the My Java FX. Okay. The CSS document that we created. This has all the properties that we need under an ID called exit. And all the CSS properties are preceded by -fx-, which is what makes it very much proprietary to this environment, which is our Eclipse environment. And then we are assigning this ID to the button on line number 17. Once we did that last week, we then set up the scene graph called HBox. Then we add to the scene graph exit button as one of the child. And then we added the scene graph to the scene. And then we imported the style sheets at the scene level. Otherwise, exit won't be able to be located if there is no style sheet added. Then we set the scene to the stage, and we set the title of the stage, and then we showed the stage. And as I was telling you earlier, that since my class is a child of application, we can just directly call launch. And it will work the same way. So this is what the button is. When you hover over, that's the tooltip. Okay. Now we also looked at run configurations. And any run configurations that are there that you don't need, you can simply right-click and delete them. I'm leaving behind one run configuration because I will be needing these VM arguments. That's why I'm leaving one behind, so I can easily copy paste and wouldn't have to do it again. So far, so good, everybody. Any questions?
So if we delete those other run configurations,
Yeah.
they'll be able to run the programs.
Yeah, because they're just sitting there as run configs. Those are just run files.
Okay.
Yeah, you will not going to delete your source code. Jack, let me know when you're ready. Guys, I'll be right back, okay? Oh, no, we have not done anything yet. I'm just waiting for Jack to give me an okay, and then we'll start with a new project here. So in the meanwhile, how about we create a new project? And if you guys remember, when we created Java project for Java FX, what is it that we may have to make sure that we do at this step? Do we hit finish or no?
I think you have to add the library to the class path.
Okay, and how do we do that?
You go to first you click next,
Yep, you got to click next. Okay.
and then go to the libraries tab, and I think it's add external jars.
You have to click on the class path
Oh yeah, click on the class path.
and then add external jars.
Yeah, add external jars,
And
and
then
then select
all of them
these.
and open. Okay. And then we can hit finish.
You should add all of them, right?
Yep.
I'm sorry, was it add library or add class folder?
Where? Here, we
Sure.
click add external jars.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And then we hit finish. I'm waiting to hit finish till everybody says that they're good. Otherwise, I hit finish and somebody is like, oh, I was over there. What did you do? And I have to restart everything. So Robert, Jordan, Josh, Jack, Cole, Victor, Francisco. Give me a green check because thumbs up disappear if you are giving thumbs up. So we still have Robert, Jack, and Francisco left. Okay, Francisco done. Robert done. Jack, where are you? How far are you? Oh, I'm talking with Jack Laird. Jack Lear, how far are you? Jack Lear, can you hear me? Can you please tell me how far you are in the process? No. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sound fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he's there or he stepped out. But anyway, we'll just move forward. I don't know. Anyway, so we hit finish here. Now we hit new and we create our very first class. We'll call this class Life Cycle Demo. Then we hit browse and we look for application, which is the parent of this class. We make sure to hit main and we make sure to hit inherited abstract methods and we hit finish. In the main method, we type, launch, so that it automatically calls the start method. However, in this program, we will also see that there are more methods than start method that are available to you in the application. Another method, which is not an abstract method, which you can override, is the init method, which is for initialization purpose. So let's write a simple system out inside init method. Okay. Let me do another one here. Let me change the name of my stage to primary stage and inside start method. Okay. Even though there is another method called stop that you can again override. Let's test this code. You may run into the same problem that you can fix through the run config. And when you run this program, you will simply see the output inside init method and inside start method, but you will not see inside stop method. Okay. That will not show up on the screen because that runs after the application stops. So you will not be able to see that running. Life cycle. Primary stage. Dot. Let's try another scene graph. This one is called stack pane. And they'll just simply display this. Now, this is an interesting piece. If you want to see the stop method, try closing the primary stage. The moment you close the primary stage, then the stop method becomes visible to you.
Can you go up for a second? Tiny bit. I get nothing happening when I run mine, like no error, no application.
You have launch in the main.
Yes. Yes.
Do
Let me.
you do have the primary stage and you added the scene to the primary stage? Set the scene, all that stuff.
Yep. Let me. Try to restart Eclipse real quick.
Otherwise, I can always ask you to share your screen.
Oh, sounds working.
It's working fine?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Cool. Okay, how about the rest of you? So Robert, Victor, Francisco,
Yeah, I have an error in mine.
Is it like a syntax error or is it a runtime error?
Runtime.
Did you fix your run configurations?
I believe so.
So you did go into the run configurations and you copied the VM arguments from the previous one that we ran last week and pasted it to this one? Did you do that?
Oh no, I didn't.
Okay, yeah, probably that's the reason.
All right, thank you.
Mhm. Robert, did you get it?
Yeah, it was just in my rush to fix the runtime thing. I forgot to add the rest of the stuff in the start stage.
What do you mean, like?
I just forgot to write the rest of the code. I got like the first line inside start method, and I forgot to put everything past that.
Oh, okay. So you're still catching up with the code?
Yeah, I just got to add those couple lines. And then
Okay, sure. That's fine.
So it sucks to hear about not being able to go to the conference in St. Louis.
Yeah, we have, I mean, like, you know, I can't go, Wendy can't go either. And yeah, so it was a little difficult for Alan to manage everything by himself.
Yeah, definitely. I understand it. It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it working for you now, Francisco?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll wait for Robert to let us know that he's also ready to go. And then we will move on to our next example. And Robert said it's working for him.
Jack had a question in the chat.
Okay, Jack. Oh, so you did not have Eclipse installed, Jack? So you're installing Eclipse. You know what? I would want you to share your screen with me so I can direct you better. I just don't want you to pick the wrong option and have to reinstall stuff afterwards. So that's why I wanted you to share your screen, Jack, Lear. Okay. Oops. You need to install Eclipse IDE for Java. Can you scroll up to the top so I can see? Yeah, that one, the very top one. Yep. Yep. And then, yeah, install. Yeah, accept. Okay, cool. And then you can follow the remaining steps in the video. Okay. So let's save this example as slider demo. Hover over and change the class name. We do not need init and we do not need stop in this example. So that's why I'm deleting those two methods. So that's what we are down to right now. And we're going to get rid of the system out. And then we're going to call this one slider. Slider. So we will learn about a slider object in JavaFX. Slider object needs a min and a max and a starting position. So those are the three parameters: min, max, and the start. Instead of stack pane, let's try to use a different scene graph called VBox for vertical box. And to the vertical box, we will add the slider. And then we're adding the slider to the scene and so on and so forth, right? So here you can see a slider right in the middle because of 50, 0, and 100. So that's what you can do actually right here. Now let's add some properties to the slider. So slider dot set major tick. So the major tick. Set major tick. Okay. And slider dot set minor tick. minor tick. Oh, it's minor tick count. Slider dot. What is it? Not slider, minor tick. Oh, it's an integer. That's why it's giving me an error. It's an integer. Slider dot set show tick marks true. So now you can see the major and the minor tick marks separated by tens. Okay. So we have the major marks at 10 and the minor at 5. Let's try this. Slider dot set show tick labels. And that will actually show you the labels. Everybody got this? So, Josh. Now, let's save this one as demo. Let's do color demo. And color demo will be our very first example in which I want to do some event handling. Okay. So let me change that to color demo. I do not need the slider. Okay. So I will create an object of what we call color picker class. Color picker equals to new color picker. Color picker dot set value to red color. Okay. And then, to my I'm going to come back to my VBox in just a minute. Okay. Let's do this. Let's create some 2D objects like circle. In the swing environment, the only way to create circle, one was the way was to create a filled arc, right? The other way was to create a rectangle like a square, right? With a radius. So you would curve. But here we have a circle as a separate class. Circle. Or sorry, oval. Oval with same corners that would create a circle. But here you have a circle class. So the radius is 50. So circle radius is 50 pixels. Oh, CLE, not LCE. Okay, so we have a circle with a radius of 50. Now the circle will actually be filled with the color picker dot get value. So whatever value of the color picker is, that will define the fill color for my circle. So right now I have set it to red. So the color of the circle should be red after I update line number 21. On line 21, I'm saying that I would like to add my circle followed by my color picker. So let's create a slightly bigger scene. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So right now it is red and it can't change either because we have not written any event handling. But just so that you guys can see how color picker looks like, go ahead and click on the drop down box and then you can choose one of these colors. But again, I'm not going to change anything, or you can go to custom colors and then it gives you the hue, saturation, RGB, web safe colors, and the whole 9 yards. You could use the swatch to pick a color. Anyway, whatever is the case, it doesn't affect the circle. So I just want to make sure everybody can get this far. Before we can do the event handling. So I believe Victor and Jack Lear are the only people working on it. And Jack, how far along are you in the process? Jack Lear, how far along are you in the download process? And Victor, do you have any questions or are you just coding? Or have an error?
I can't find it in my run configurations.
What can you not find in your run configuration?
The color demo class.
Did you run it once?
Um,
You have to run it once for it to show in the run configuration, and then you can go to run configuration. So what we did this far is we created a color picker object and we assigned it a red color as its value. And we said create a circle of size 50 and we filled the circle with the color value from the color picker. Were you saying something, Victor?
I got it.
You got it. Okay, cool. So now we will write the event handling piece right here after we set the value for the circle. The event will be written on color picker. So color picker dot set on action. Set on action is a built-in function in this environment to create an event handler for an item. Okay, set on action, which takes an object of event handler type. And we will create an unnamed inner class. Do this much for now. I know this will error. Oh, sorry, this should be action event. Okay, this will error out. Only the word event handler will have an error on it. And I should actually do this right. So fix a couple of things that I just did. After that, you should organize your imports. And only the word event handler will have an error. That's okay. We'll fix that. So event handler is a built-in handler to handle any kind of events. The event we are handling is the action event, which is click event.
You imported the action event?
Yes, I did. These are my event handlers.
Got it.
Okay. Oh, event handler. Let me see. Hold on a second.
It gives me the option to import one for event handler. That's why I was curious.
Event handler. Let me get rid of this beans one. Oh, I imported the wrong event handler. I should have picked the JavaFX one. Yep, that's it. Yeah. So bring the JavaFX event handler. And that should be the only line with an error. When you hover over this line, it will tell you add unimplemented method. So what does that mean? Event handler is an abstract class and it has an abstract method that needs to be implemented. So you click on add unimplemented methods and it will add this method handle for you and the error will disappear from the top. So whatever handling you want to do, that will go inside the handle method.
Hey.
Say again?
Sorry, I was yelling at my dog.
Oh, okay. Now that you have the handle method in place, this is where you can tell that anytime somebody clicks on a color and wants to exit out of there by clicking OK, what you got to do is you got to call the circle object set fill method, and then you got to go to the color picker and get its current value and assign that to be the circle color. Okay. Now, because of the vertical box, both items are stacked one on top of each other. This is all what vertical box is doing, okay? So right now the color is red. Let me go down in the drop down and pick a different color. See, it's green. Now let me go to custom. Let's choose a hashtag 6677AA. And then let's use this color, and that becomes the color. Or I can go to RGB combinations and use that color. Or I can use HSB combination and use that color. So whatever color I pick, that is the color of the circle. Give me a green check when everybody gets this. Okay. So now let's save this one as, instead of color picker, we'll call this one, sorry, date demo. In the date demo, let's hover over to change the class name to date demo. And instead of color picker, we'll have the date picker. Button equals to new button, read date. So we're adding, oh, let me change the name of the date picker object to date picker. So we are adding date picker and we're adding the button. So right now you can see the date picker shows you a calendar. Read date doesn't do anything, but this is just to show you that how it can show you the calendar.
Real quick.
Yep.
I enabled something that made all the text green, like a green highlight to everything. Do you know?
Oh, you might have
Well, I
clicked on
enabled-
the debugger instead of the executor. So if probably if you make a slight change, like get rid of something and put it back and then try to rerun it, the debugger mode will be off.
Ah, yes, thank you.
Now, if I want to add an event handler for the button, what code should I write? If I want to add event handling for the button, what code should I add?
Date picker dot set on action.
I need to do it on the button.
Oh, on the button. Okay, I'm sorry. Button dot set on action.
Okay. And then,
New event handler.
okay,
Arrow action event.
new event handler, angular bracket, action event. Okay, what else?
Parentheses,
Parentheses, okay,
and then curly braces.
curly brackets, okay. And then I can organize my imports, make sure I use Java FX. Okay. Now what do I do?
Hover over the event handler object and click add unimplemented methods.
Awesome, cool. Now we will use a later version of Java class called local date, which we learn about Java 1. And we will ask the date picker to give me the value. And then I can output the value. Just like that. So whatever value I pick from the list, and I hit read, it just reads that value out of the console. Okay, give me a green check. Okay, guys. I will be putting you guys in a breakout room of 3 people. Now, since Victor is there twice, so I've put both versions of Victor in the same group. So what you will be doing is you will be modifying this example, and you will be applying some of the knowledge you learned last week, adding it to the knowledge you learned this week, and you will be displaying the date instead of in the console. You will be displaying it in a label. Okay. So I will be opening the rooms in just a second. Everybody understood what you got to do?
When you click read date, makes
Yep.
a pop up.
Yeah, when you hit read date, instead of displaying it in the console, it should just display it in the label. And every time you click on it, it will override the previous one. Okay. Here you go. Your rooms are open. You should receive a notification. Okay, so was everybody able to solve this, all groups? Okay. So let me share with you one possible solution. I just added a few more properties just so that, you can see a little bit more. So let me share my screen with you guys. Okay, so what I did, you probably might have done something similar on your end as well. I created a label object and I gave it some label. Then in my event handler, I said, you know what? I want the label to have the text, which is date is, which is this part, followed by the value that I have from the local date, and I'm converting it to a string. Okay. So that stuff is simple. But what else I did is I said, let's do some spacing out in my vertical box. Okay. Now, so what I did when I scroll down, and you scroll down, I added a spacing of 10. The spacing of 10 space out each one of the box from each other by 10. Okay. Now, then what else I did? I add the spatting for the whole V box, in which I said, leave 20 pixels at the top of the box. Okay. Leave 0 pixels on the right. Leave 0 pixels at the bottom because there isn't anything below the vertical box, and leave 50 pixels to the left. As a result, my box looks like this. It is 20 pixels down, 50 pixels to the left, and there's a spacing of 10 between each of the items. So maybe something extra than what you guys already have. Okay. Everybody got this? If you could please kindly give me the green checks. So I'm missing from Victor and Jack. Jack layer. Okay. So now let's start working with some more geometric shapes here. So I'll save this example as rectangle demo, rect demo. And for rect demo, I do not need all this. It'll be a much simpler code. So I'll create an object of rectangle type equals to new rectangle. Rect dot set x rect dot set y. So setting the x coordinate of the upper left and then setting the y coordinate of the upper left. That's what the set x and set y does. And then right from that coordinate, I'm going to start drawing a rectangle that is 100 pixels. And I can set the height. If I set the height to be the same as the width, it'll be a square. Otherwise, it'll be a real true rectangle. Okay, so once I set my rectangle, then let me add my rectangle to the vertical box. And here I have a rectangle. So if I want to color it differently, I could do that. And here I have the rectangle with a little bit of a drop shadow. I don't know if you guys can see the drop shadow. Okay. Got it? Let me clear the previous one. So everybody can give me the new one. And again, for those of you who are still testing this, this is how the output looks like. It has a red rectangle with a drop shadow. Jack Clear, you got it too? Okay. Now let's save this one as poly demo for a polygon. So instead of a rectangle object, we'll create a polygon object. With the polygon, let me get rid of all these. For the polygon object, you need to get the points on which you are going to be drawing the polygon. And then I can add all the points inside a double array. So I can create a double array on the fly, and I can add all the points. So for example, I want it to start with 0.0, comma 0.0, okay, 100.0 and 200.0, and then 200.0 and 100.0. So that's my double array with 3 points. And for each point, I've given X and Y. I'll add the poly to the vertical box. And here I have my poly, starting at 0, 0, okay, going down to 100, 200, which is 100 pixels, sorry, 100, 200, 100 pixels away from the left. Sorry, yeah, 100 pixels away from the left and 200 pixels away from the top. Then I got 200, 100. So I got 100 pixels away from the left and 200 pixels away from the top. So it goes like this: 1, 2, 3, and it automatically closes itself back to the first one. Then I enabled the set fill and the set effect lines, and you can see the polygon with those two items enabled as well. Okay, everybody got this? Okay. Now let me comment out line number 17. And I will start out with stop array to create a few stops. My next step would be to give you guys gradient colors, which is like multiple colors blend. So I'm creating a stops array for that, okay? In which I'll create some stop objects. So my first stop object, which is 0, is the green color. And my next stop object, which is 1, is the blue color. So I got a couple of stop objects. Then after I create my stop objects, I'm going to create a linear, gradient color. Start and end. So 0, 0 is the first one. 1 is the second one. The colors should be proportional. And when I reach the end of the second color, I do not want to cycle or I do want to cycle. So in my case, I do not want to cycle. So I don't want to cycle back to the first color, okay? And these are the colors. After that, I can take my poly and I can set its fill to linear. And here I have the linear gradient. Okay. Everybody get to see the linear gradient. So how about we now take a break till 7:30, and then we will resume with some more applications at 7:30. In the recording, and let me share the screen again. Okay. So this time we will create a new class. And, oh, no, hold on a second. Rather, let me save this one so that I don't have to write all this extra code. So we will call our new class rotate demo.java. Let me get rid of this polygon stuff. And let's create a rectangle. You can also create a rectangle through the constructor. You don't have to create it afterwards. And in order for you to do that, all you need to do is just write the starting point and the size right there, and then it creates a rectangle of that size. And that's what we are assigning to the V box, to the rectangle. Okay. So let me give this rectangle some color. Let's say lime green is fine. Okay, so right now, this is what the rectangle looks like. It is a lime green rectangle with a border, which is basically the stroke width of 5. And the color of the border is hot pink. So once we have our rectangle done, let's start doing the rotation logic. So let's instantiate rotate transition object. The rotation X is our set. We want the rotation to be 360 degrees. So it'll be a complete circle rotation, circular rotation. We need to set the cycle of rotation count. So I'm just setting it to 500. And I will set the duration of the rotation, and this duration is in millisecond. So 1000 millisecond, which is 1 second to complete the rotation. We want this rotation to be assigned to the rectangle. And we want the rotation to play. Okay. Aha. So I assigned, after I did this rotation stuff, I set the padding to, and then I increased the scene size so that the rotation happens a little bit away from the corner. Again, let me know when you guys are done with this and can see that the rectangle is rotating. And if you want a rectangle to start rotating in the other direction once it completes one cycle, then you can call the set auto reverse and then set it to true. So what set auto reverse do is it completes one cycle, then it starts going back. One cycle starts going back.
Did you change anything else besides put in the set auto reverse?
No.
Because as soon as I added that line, now I don't show any rectangle at all.
No, I didn't add any of the line besides the auto reverse. Was it working before you had the auto reverse?
It was, but now I just commented it out and it's not working all of a sudden. I'm gonna restart Eclipse really quick because it was literally just working and I changed nothing. But like I said, I just commented out the auto reverse and it's still all of a sudden not working.
Okay.
It was just working perfectly fine.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Probably something went wrong with Eclipse, maybe.
Okay.
Okay. Did everybody get this? I'm still with missing green checks from Victor and Jack Lear.
Can I share my screen?
Yes. Can you scroll up? Oh, here's the problem. You call your class rotate instead of rotate demo. So that's why line 44 is thinking that your local class has somebody called Z access. So why don't you go to File, Save As, and call your class rotate demo. Okay, click OK. Hover over your class name and rename. Then on the left-hand side in your project list, right-click on the rotate and delete. and click OK. Now right click on your project and refresh. On the project where it says My Java FX 914. Yeah, refresh. Which is right underneath export. Okay. Okay, now come down to line 44 and get rid of the word demo. Okay, save the changes and organize your imports. Here you go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now let's save this class as transition demo. Transition demo. That's why I'm using the word demo so that I do not name my class after any of the built-in classes. Okay. So I will get rid of the rectangle and the play and all of that stuff. This will be, I'll do this one with circle, which we have created once before, but this time we will be creating the circle right from the constructor. So we have a circle 50 by, starting at the 5010, it's a radius of 50. It's just 10 will be too small. Let's do 100. Okay. Then the circle will be filled. And the circle will have a stroke, which will be an outline black color. Okay. And let's now assign, instead of VBox, let's see if I want to use group. I want to assign my group circle object. Okay. Get rid of line 23 and my root. Since it's a group, I can now give some kind of a background color to my scene. Okay. Okay. Now let me start working with some transition. So I have a translate transition. Equals to new translate transition. So we will be shifting the x coordinate of the center of the circle by 400. So it will still be going within the plane because the plane is 600. That's what my scene is, up till 600. So they'll still be fine. Okay. So it is x to 400 and translate dot set duration. We're going to set that in milliseconds as before to 1 second. set the cycle count. And just like before, we'll try to do the auto reverse to true. So it comes back after it completes its cycle. And then we will set the node to circle. And then we will make the animation play. Okay. Okay. Let me test this one real quick. Why is it giving me an error? Oh, I misspelled the millis. Okay. Let me see. Run config. What? Ooh. Come on, let me grab it from the other guy. Oh, I don't have it even in there. Oh, because I deleted all those run configs. My bad. Okay, hold on a second. I'll grab it.
I put it in chat.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll just fix that.
Oh, never mind. The way you get to it's different. Never mind.
I will just fix the path. I'll just replace that part. Oh, not this guy. Ah.
You gonna lay down?
Yay. So it does works. Oh, Jack, I noticed you have your previous one was not working. Well, why don't you complete this one and then we'll have a look at that one. Okay, this one is working, but your previous one is not working, right? Okay. Yeah, okay. We'll wait till Victor gives me a thumbs up. Because Victor is the only one left, I believe, with this one. And then we'll have a look at yours.
You can help him out.
Yeah, but I would have to change the screen then. So I will let you finish this code.
I took a picture of it.
So again?
I took a picture of it.
Oh, okay. So I'll stop sharing, and Jack, you can show me your last program then. Let's have a look at it. Let's see what's going on. Oh, okay. Close that. So you're seeing. Oh, you're missing a statement. Go to the end of line 32 and hit enter. And type primary stage dot set scene as parentheses. And then within the parentheses, type scene. Okay. Save the changes and run. There you go. Actually, your scene was not loaded in the stage. That's why. Victor, let me know when you're done.
Uh,
Do you done?
I don't know what's wrong with mine.
Oh, then why don't you share your screen? Let's have a look at it. Okay. Did you try going to your run menu and go to your run configurations and add the configuration variable? Go to arguments. Oh, yeah. So you copy. Oh, we are in transition. Oh, you didn't have the rotate one also working.
Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, we will now save this one as app demo. In the app demo, let's get rid of everything and leave it to this form. And we'll start working with a few objects here of different classes. So first of all, I will try with list view. Okay, so the list view allows you to look at multiple items. It just lists multiple items. Once you get that piece going, then you can also change the selection model to be able to select multiple items. So I can press and hold Control and I can select multiple items or Shift. So that's what line 17 does.
I'm getting an error with the list view.
Uh,
List view goes into list view.
List view.
Line
and,
13.
I don't have an error. I have just warnings.
Okay, then
Yeah.
I couldn't see the yellow in the zoom. I have the same thing then.
Yeah. Those are warnings.
What is this supposed to look like again? Sorry. Okay, cool. Got it.
You can press and hold Shift or Control to select multiple items.
Thank you.
Mhm. Now, what I just did, you guys are already familiar with that. So I created two labels and I created a button. So I've added event button and output 3 after the list view. And if I want to add multiple items in the same time, I can actually use something called add all. And I can say LBL list view comma. So I can add multiple items through add all, and I can add single items through add. So since my labels LBL. Event button. Oh, it is showing the label. I didn't see. Choose event location. Okay, right at the top, right above the list view. Choose event location. The other label will not show because it's an empty label. Okay, cool. Working fine. Now let's add some more items to this form. String, major. So I'm creating a string array. And let me load some items into the string array. And let me create a choice box. And let me pre-populate the choice box with this array. So I created this choice box and a couple of labels. And notice how I added these on line 33. Even though the label, major, and the choice box were created after list view, but since they were added before, that's why they're showing up before in the output. Again, I will wait till everybody gives me a green check that they're able to see the output that I see on the right-hand side. So there are a couple of new items that we have seen so far. One is a choice box, which is a drop-down box. One is a list view, and labels and buttons we have seen before. Okay. Next, we will look at radio buttons because we have not worked with radio buttons yet. So let me add some radio buttons on line number 30. Notion. Since you want only one radio button to be selected, therefore you need to add it to a toggle group so that only one can be selected. Otherwise, you will be selecting all of them. So once we create a toggle group, we will be setting the toggle group for each one of them. Campus 2, campus 3. Okay. Let me also bring in a checkbox since we're on the same topic. Did we do text field last week? Oops.
No, I don't think we did.
Okay. So it's like a text box. And then you have password field also. This looks like a password box. So I'm setting the max width for the two objects that I just created. And text area is a multi-line text box. I'm clearing the feedback Let me know when you are done declaring all these objects, and then we will go down and start adding those. Okay, I'm waiting for Victor. And then I will start adding the code at the bottom. So Victor, let me know when you're done. Cool. So now let's scroll down over here, and now we got to start adding the items to the root. Okay. I'm just testing it to make sure that items are showing up. As you can see, we have LBL followed by a text field, LBL followed by another text field, and so on and so forth. Oh, I forgot to change the text in the label. My bad. Enter. So please make modification to the labels. There you go. Enter your name, enter your password, enter comments. Choose a major. Event location. Okay, so anyway. So far, so good. I'm splitting into multiple lines, so it's easier for you to read. That's about it. That's the only reason I'm going in 2 lines. So I just spaced them out, VBox 10. And I forgot the label. So please make sure if any of the items are airing out, check to see, I might have declared them at the top.
Is there like a standard, industry standard, I guess, for the get children? Would you normally use the add all and put the giant list in there? Or would you want to separate them out like we did below it?
Well, I did both.
Yeah,
But you probably want to add them all in one shot.
Okay.
Or if you create an array of them, you can just add the entire array.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that when you are done with this, you can view it. That's how it will look like for now. Let me know, Victor, when you're done. Okay. Once we are done with this, let's get back to adding some events. So let me pick a spot. This is where I want to do my events. Okay, so I'm going to write my events right here. So one of the events I want to do is I want to do an event on the event button. So the event button dot set on action, new event handler, action event. You know, as you see, this the same stuff for and then your unimplemented methods. Okay, so this stuff is the same across the board. So what I want to do is I want to create an observable list of type string for all the selected items, because I can have multiple selections from the list view. And I will be using the for each loop to grab the selected items and run through a loop to create a concatenated list Let me test this. Here you go. Okay. So as I picked two locations, Snap-on and Foxconn, and I clicked on event locations, it gave me, hold on a second. Why did it give me the same one twice? Snap-on, Foxconn. Oh, my bad. I made a logical error of plus equals to. Should be just equals to. There you go. So you can test this code to make sure that you are first of all grabbing the entire array of selected items in an observable list. Once you grab the entire list, you are running through that list in a loop, and then you are concatenating one item at a time from that into a string called out, and then you're assigning the out as the output to output 3.
Can you remind me what the colon means between the string and selected items?
That's the part of the syntax where it basically grabs one item at a time from this list into this item, and it
Okay.
keeps doing it as long as selected items has items. Once it
Okay.
runs out of items, the loop terminates.
Okay, thank you.
So again, give me a green check when everybody's done with this much, and then we'll go to other events. Okay, so Francisco is the only one still working on this. Everybody else is done. Let me add another one right below this one. This time, let me do it for a choice box, which is the drop-down box. So choice box, just like button, get selection model dot selected index property dot add listener. So it's a different kind of an event as opposed to the set on action. Okay, so we're adding a listener here. New change listener of type number. And then you hover over, oh, change listener. Oh. Add unimplemented methods. So basically the whole idea of this one is to create an event on the dropdown. And as somebody hits a dropdown box, the selected index change, so the change listener gets triggered, which then calls a method changed. So now what we got to do is we got to set the output to dot set text. Okay, hold on a second. Where I have all my majors. Oh, I created an array called majors. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to my majors array, and from the argument number 2, I will convert it into an integer value because the array needs an int, and argument 2 is of type number. So I will convert it into an integer value because that is the one that holds the index location of the item that is selected from the list. So I'll use that to go to the array because the array and the drop-down box are parallel, and grab that value out, and I'll say, okay, is your selected major. Okay, so let me test this as well. So let me grab an item. Oops, here you go. Cool, it works. Okay. Very similarly, I'll do on button. That the text will be welcome. And somebody click the button, BTN, the text will be welcome. We will grab the text from the name box and we'll just display a message. Yep, so if I type something like up there, Saad, and I click on click me, it'll display welcome Saad. I choose an event that displays data analytics. I choose companies and click on event location, and that displays the event locations. So far I got these items going. And then I'll write one more event, and that will be on my checkbox. Which is called register. So if register dot is selected, means if it is checked, then you know what, let me try to do something else with this one. What is the name of my it's primary stage, right? Okay. So primary stage dot set title to. That's awesome. Else. Too bad. So let me put everything to test, all the events to test. Okay. So I put in a name. I choose a register. So as soon as I check the register, it says that's awesome on the title bar. I'll choose a major. I'll choose events, and I'll choose click me. So all the events that are wrote work. So once you get all of them working, just like me, give me a green check.
My button, my click me button is not working.
Which would be this one, 83 through 88.
Yeah. Well, the register I don't believe is working either.
Okay, then check the code above to
Okay.
see if the code above is fine. It may be influencing the code below. Oh, let me scroll up just, yeah, then that's fine. Yeah, line 75 through 97.
Out like the set on action from the start. I just copied and pasted and then changed it to button or changed it to register. If the
Okay.
code's right, it should work.
Yeah, But is
Okay.
it, yeah, that's what I did. I also copy pasted stuff.
Oh, all right.
So everybody got it, but Robert and Victor. Oh, and Josh. Josh is also working on it. So Josh, when you copy pasted, that did not work for you?
No.
Like, is it giving you any error or is it just not doing anything?
It's just not doing anything when I press click me.
Is the drop down for choice box working?
For like choose your major.
Yeah.
Yes, that's working. Yeah.
Okay. So it displays the output dash as your selected major.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
choose event location works. But the name and pretty much anything with the click me button does not work.
Okay, how about register? When you check the register checkbox, does the title bar text changes?
Yes,
Okay, so it's only the btn.set on action, right?
correct.
So now when you are running, when you're clicking on btn.set on action, did you put anything in the name text box?
Yes, yes, I did.
Okay. The only thing would be to have a look at your code. Can you share your screen, please?
Sure.
Can you scroll up for me, please? Yep, stop. There. Okay, scroll down. Keep going. Okay. Okay, try running your program now. And put something in the name. And then click me. Okay. And then choose a location and choose event location. And choose, sorry, yeah, choose something from the drop-down box. Okay, now close your application. Okay, you're actually missing one of the outputs for the label. So right above where you added output 2, you're missing a line. See, there is a line number, go to the end of line 114 and press enter. Yeah, and then copy line 116 on line 115.
Oh, I'm missing output
And
1.
then you are missing, yeah, you're missing the output. That's, oh no, just output, right? Yeah. Now try. Okay,
Look at
cool.
that.
Mhm,
All right, thank you.
no problem. Okay, guys. Having said that, let's move on. Oh, let me ask Victor, are you done? Oh, you're done. Okay, cool. Now let's go to some CSS stuff. So let me right click on the source to create a new new file. Or let me do this. Right click to create a new untitled text file. Untitled text file. Let's write some CSS here. So, and then we will be adding those afterwards.
Is it possible if you make that any bigger?
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Okay, thank you.
Is that good enough?
It's good for me.
Yep.
Okay. Oops, italic is spelled italic, bold italic. Okay, is everybody done with this? Because next, I saved mine as layoutstyles.css. So we need to tie this to our document, which is our app demo. So in the app demo, where I got my scene set up, I got to go to my scene and I will say, okay, get style sheets dot add. And this is where I will add my style sheet, which is layout styles.css. Okay, but that's only one thing that I will do, and then I have to connect individual classes. Okay, so for example, right here, let me do some of that stuff. If I want to directly set style, I can also do that. For example, I do not have anything written for name in my style sheet. I can just write my own style sheet right here, and that is not something that will be imported. So I can say FX background color slate blue, FX text fill white. Okay, so I could write stuff for something you know, as you can see here, right? So we have that stuff coming in. Notice my label automatically received the properties. See that? My label automatically got the properties. How did my label automatically get the property? Because I called not an ID, but a class called label. And wherever it will find label, it will automatically give the property. Okay. And notice that all your radio buttons and checkboxes, notice that they're also a bit grayed out because of that CSS that we wrote. Okay, but no CSS was applied to the button because we wrote it on the name of the object. We didn't write it on the built-in class. So for that purpose, I would have to literally say btn dot get style class, because it's written with a period, because it's a class name. And then to that, I will add the btn class. And once I do that, then as you can see down below, that how my button appears different from the event locations button. Very similarly, I will also add to the root dot get style class dot add vbox. So that will give the property to the entire vbox. So as you can see, that I'm controlling the look and feel of this form through my CSS document. Now, that does brings us to the end of our today's class.